And then up next, we've got some NFL head coaching changes.
Right.
So I thought we'd go ahead and take a look at the interim head coaches. So these are coaches who have taken over for coaches who have been fired.
Yeah.
And first up, we've got Chris Tabor with the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
This is his first year, and at the moment they're 2-12. So the question is, do you think the Panthers should have gone after C.J. Stroud for their first overall pick, or what about Will Levis?
Um, yeah, but like I said, see, that quarterback, he's still a young player. Like I said, they got to develop him. You know what I mean? I don't think he's terrible. I think this is first season, and we can't just put all the blame on him. I'm pretty sure they had issues on the offense and stuff like that. So
Yeah, he got to a team that already had a lot of issues, probably on
issues
both sides of the
going
ball.
right, right, and it seemed like ever since to me, ever since that quarterback, that left, a while back, it's like it's kind of been hard for the Panthers to kind of catch a rhythm.
See, because I was kind of wondering about that. When the Panthers fired the coach, is that almost admitting to drafting the wrong quarterback, or is that probably more so having the wrong coach? It's more about the coach than
I
it is
think
the
it's the
player.
coach. Yeah, it's having the wrong coach because I mean, like I said, he's a young player. He has to. He just got in the league. He needs some time to develop, at least 2 to 4 years to kind of develop. So yeah, and some quarterbacks is different. I feel like even if they would have got Stroud, like you know, they wouldn't have been developed, for him. I feel like the Texans was a better choice.
It's definitely helpful for the Saints to have the Panthers down. I know that they're pretty big rivals, the
Yeah. Oh
Panthers and
yeah, man.
Saints.
Yeah, that's good. So
And then up next, speaking of the Saints, maybe the Raiders should have tried to hold on to Carr because Antonio Pierce is the next interim head coach with the Las Vegas Raiders in his first year,
oh man,
and they are 6-8 at the moment. And I think if they keep Carr, they have a much better record than six and
six
eight.
and eight. Yeah, that's true.
And then we've got Jeff Smith, who took over the Los Angeles Chargers coaching job in his first year. Presently, they are 5-9.
9. Yeah, man. They ain't been doing so hot. And that's crazy. Um, you know, with the quarterback new contract deal, we're thinking, oh man, he's finna snap, They're finna be okay, but nah, they're not doing so hot.
Both the Raiders and the Chargers, they've got a lot to contend with there in the AFC West because they've got the Chiefs there who are, kind of going to be like the main front runners of the
Front
division.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's difficult, and you almost kind of wonder how much these firings have to do with the Chiefs' success and watching your division rival win the Super Bowl.
Exactly. Yeah. That's tough.
And then with the Chargers, they had recently got Kellen Moore as their offensive coordinator from the Cowboys, and a lot of people were saying Kellen Moore might take over head coaching duties there in Dallas, but and it's possible he gets the job there in Los Angeles. But do you think Kellen Moore is going to be at least interviewed to get the job of head coach?
Yeah. I feel like he'll probably be in the discussion for sure, yeah.
And then up next, we've got coaches who've had long tenure with teams. So coaches who've been with the teams for a long time,
Yeah.
and they feel pretty secure there with their jobs. We've got John Harbaugh
Mm.
first up. He was, Baltimore Ravens coach for 15 years, so
Wow.
2008 to present, and he has one Super Bowl win with the Ravens. But just looking at them, almost every year since 2008, they've been in playoff consideration
Yeah,
in the
being
NFL.
playoff contenders, and that was a smart move. I don't know if it was from him or whoever to give Lamar that max, man, because he's showing out.
I guarantee Harbaugh had something to do with that because if the head coach doesn't want the quarterback around or wants a new quarterback, then they're going
Yeah,
to move quickly and do it.
quickly,
So
yeah, man, that was the smartest thing, and we kept waiting, trying to see, man, what's gonna happen with him. I feel like, do you think like if they would have got rid of Lamar, they be kind of far how he is now?
they would have had to restart the whole quarterback like experiment type of
Yeah,
thing. They would have had to start from scratch. Let's get in. Do we want to sign somebody or do we want to draft somebody?
yeah.
It's this whole thing, and Lamar was more than the total package. I mean, he's elite
Oh
if you
yeah.
look at him. So I think this is going to be a good relationship for years to come between Harbaugh and Lamar.
Yeah, especially if he brings them, get them another ring. So
And
yeah,
they're close to it this season too.
yeah. So y'all let us know how y'all feel about the Ravens right now.
And then up next, we've got Pete Carroll with the Seattle Seahawks.
Yep.
So for 13 years, he's been the coach, 2010 to present. And they've got one Super Bowl win at the moment.
Yeah, yeah, man. I think they'll be good, and especially that recent game with them and the Eagles, man. The way they turned that around, that was crazy. The way that the Eagles fumbled the bag with that. They just had 3 recent wins. Do you feel like they can overcome this losing streak they got going, the Eagles?
It's going to be difficult, but then again, I mean, they still have a really decent record, and they're
Yeah,
still going to be in the playoffs. So as soon as they get there, we'll see. But they need to do something on defense, and
yeah.
maybe they need to just check on Hurts to make sure he's completely healthy.
Completely
Because
okay. They need him though, for sure. Now I agree with you on defense, man. But Metcalf, shout out to Metcalf on the Seahawks. He is so tough to bring down. So
he's
yeah,
fast too. I know he had over a 22-mile-an-hour touchdown run against Dallas a few weeks back.
yeah,
So
man. Nah, he's a problem. Like I said, if they, they're still in. They still have a chance. So we'll see.
I think that was the fastest play since 2020. So
2020. Yeah, yeah.
and then so our third coach that we have who's got tenure and is very comfortable there in his job is Andy Reid over in Kansas City
Oh
with the
yeah.
Chiefs. He's been there for 10 years, which it seems like he's been there for less time. I don't know. It seems like he's been there for less time than 10 years.
But man, that's impressive. The fact that you got 2 Super Bowl rings, coming in as a coach.
he even took them to a third Super Bowl, too. So, they've played in 3 Super Bowls so far. It looks like 1, 2 of them. And I think Kansas City holds on to Andy Reid for a long time.
Oh yeah, man. He's bringing them whatever he's doing or however he's running that offensive line. He's doing a great job.
So it seems like all 5 of the most tenured coaches have Super Bowl wins.
Yeah.
Do you think a Super Bowl win guarantees a longer career with a team?
Yeah. I think and I feel like on a personal level they probably click more with that winning coach or that's bringing them wins and doing all that stuff. So yeah, I think that kind of leaves a mark. Like, hey, I'm here to stay. I got us a ring. We're gonna get another one. So
Well, yeah, I guess, and I hadn't mentioned this, but you look at the Rams coach and what's going on there. They win the Super Bowl and then they have a bad season, and they're having an okay season this year.
yeah.
But they still hold on to him. He's
So
still
yeah.
the coach there.
No,
So
definitely. I mean, just because it's one bad season, they're not gonna give rid of their coach. They're gonna stay loyal to him. So yeah.
and then up next we've got coaches who could possibly be on the bubble, so they might be on the outs with the team coming up here.
Yeah.
And Bill Belichick of the New England Patriots.
23 years.
23 years as the
Wow.
president. Yeah, 2000 to present. And at the moment, they're 3-1, and they're eliminated from the playoffs. Although Bill brought in 6 Super Bowl wins.
6 wins. Yeah, 6 wins. Honestly, man, that's a long time. That's a long time. That's kind of double the time of most of those coaches that we just said. I mean, I think it's time for him to kind of wrap it up now. I think so, because like I said, those wins that he had, that was with time and kind of a whole different offensive team and format. So, I think he's kind of still trying to see if he can kind of bring that back, but I don't. It's not really happening like that.
He's a brilliant defensive mind.
Yeah.
If he gets fired from New England, I feel like someone else is going to pick him up. Do you think he'd be able to just be a defensive coordinator, kind of taking the back
Yeah,
seat there?
I think maybe just kind of switching, focusing on defense, since he was so focused on offense most of his career, really. So yeah, that'd be a good if he's still wants to be a coach. But I mean, if we look at his stats, 6 Super Bowl rings. I mean, he can stop right now. He kind of already proved that he's one of those top 5 coaches.
I get the sense that he's probably going to want to keep playing, though,
Yeah.
just from his personality. I know in general, it might be difficult for him to take like a lesser role because he's all about control and
Yeah,
control
you
of the
can tell.
team,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
that's kind of one of the reasons that Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski kind of wanted to get away and go do their own thing in
Yeah.
Tampa.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It seemed like he's probably one of those controlling coaches, like wouldn't let him do certain things, but yeah.
But we are also talking about the man who brought the New England Patriots their first Super Bowls
Super Bowl
ever.
ring. Yeah.
So
It's kind of hard to, pick with that. Like I said, he's a legend.
I feel like it would be the Twilight Zone if he was no longer the coach there. How would it sound to you if Belichick was no longer the New England
Man,
Patriots
it wouldn't
coach?
even. I don't think people would even be checking for the Patriots anymore. I feel like, man, I mean, he's the last piece of the puzzle for them. Like I said, one time, and most of those wide receiver tight ends left. He's the only source of kind of hope for that. Like, oh man, the Patriots. That's. So even though they got Ezekiel Elliott and everything, if he's gone, it's like, was it even worth bringing him on?
You wonder how long it'll be until the Patriots do win another Super Bowl.
Right.
And then up next, and then this one was strange. This was just a recent thing that came up in the media. But Mike Tomlin, the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach,
Oh yeah.
he's been there for 16 years,
Hmm.
2007 to present. Right now, the team is 7-7 in last place in the AFC North. But he brought them a Super Bowl win. And then they had played in, I think the Super Bowl win was 2008
Mm.
for the 2008 season. And
Yeah.
then they played in another Super Bowl just 2 years later, losing to the Green Bay Packers. So, after so many years of success, as well as a Super Bowl win in just his second year with the team,
Yeah.
he was also 36 years old, was the youngest ever to win. Do you think Pittsburgh is going to keep Tomlin?
Oh yeah. Definitely. They're definitely gonna keep him. Like I said, the Steelers are a great defensive team. Um, so yeah, they'll probably hold on.
Yeah, it's just so bizarre because he has been the head coach there in Pittsburgh for a long time.
Right.
And they're usually right there in the playoff contention or usually have a winning season. And I think this is one of the first few years where they're not doing as
They're
well as
not
they
doing.
have.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It would be bizarre, but I know, I believe it was Rex Ryan said that this would be, if they fired him, it would be one of the best things that would happen to him from a financial standpoint because he would be able to leverage and kind of get any deal that he wanted.
Oh
pretty
yeah.
much as a
If
head
they
coach.
if they get rid of him, somebody's picking him up. A team's picking him up for sure. So I think that's kind of why they're kind of holding on because they know like once he's gone, it's like somebody's gonna pick him up. So
Yeah, that it's going to be interesting to see what happens with him. I think it would be a mistake for Pittsburgh to let Mike Tomlin go, and
yeah.
they need to hold on to him. I remember years ago when Dallas had that coaching vacancy, they were even talking about trying to lure Tomlin out of Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
But and then we'll take a look at the first year head coaching with the team. We've got Jonathan Gannon out there with the Arizona Cardinals. It's his first year, and I think we maybe need to give him another year.
Mhm.
He needs a little bit more time because Arizona has been a mess.
Oh yeah, man. They have ever since last season. They haven't really been, effective. Like, kind of like when I look back, with Fitzgerald and all those players, it seemed like it ain't been really good for them. The Cardinals. They had a pretty okay season last season.
Do you think that Cliff Kingsbury was the reason that the Cardinals are a mess?
He's part of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was the head coach there for a few years, and he came in from Texas Tech and
Hmm.
kind of changed the culture a little bit. And they were in the playoff contention, but then they get hit by injuries, and then they have
Yeah.
a really bad season last year, and they said goodbye to him. So.
Yeah. Yeah. That probably was a good decision.
And then we've got Shane Steichen over with the Indianapolis Colts. It's his first year,
Yeah.
and he needs more time. The Colts are coming off a rebuild, and they're a very young team at the moment. And he needs more time with his quarterback Richardson, who got hurt. He
Mhm.
didn't really get to spend as much time developing him in his first season.
I mean, yeah, and honestly, with the Colts, they're not doing terrible. They're doing okay. They still have a shot to probably, make something happen. So, yeah.
Do you think Richardson will come back healthy and have a successful first year with the team?
Yeah, I think so. Especially after this season. I mean, if they're doing pretty good with him healthy, I think they'll do even better.
And then up next, we've got D'Amico Ryans here in Houston.
Yeah.
It's his first year, 2023 to present, and I think he's doing a fantastic job.
Oh man, that was the greatest, trade that ever happened. Really, when I don't know why the 49ers got rid of him, and they're still up in one of the hottest teams right now. But man, they found the way to make it work. But man, he's working for the Texans right now.
Well, and the 49ers are probably one of the hottest teams because of the defense that Ryan's put together over there.
Yeah.
I mean, that was his idea.
That was his team, yeah.
He put all that together, and then he headed out to Houston, who they didn't seem like a promising team to start the season. I don't think that a whole lot of fans had a lot of optimism about.
Yeah, they were like a lot of people. A lot of people were kind of wondering what is this dude gonna do, but he's showing you right now.
How do you think Ryans has done in his first year as the Texans head coach?
Honestly, he's doing good. It's impressive because you got to think about it. Like Sean Payton, for instance, switching over to the Broncos. These legend coaches, it's kind of hard to adapt and still bring this new team somewhere. But he's making it work. So.
And there is a major rivalry between Indy and Houston.
Yeah.
And do you think the teams have done enough to compete with one another?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It'll be interesting seeing their first round quarterbacks and seeing who has more success throughout the years and if they're able to.
Honestly, I feel like they should have had a schedule with the 49ers and the Texans just to kind of see, like, man, who can really win. They got D'Amico on their side now, but, still pretty good 49ers team,
They would have to make that a primetime game for sure.
Oh, man, definitely.
And then our very last quarterback we had on the list, we've got Sean Payton over there with the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
It's his first year there. And I guess just to start the question, do you miss Payton coaching for the Saints?
Oh, man, yeah, definitely. It seemed like we're getting a pretty good rhythm now, but, Sean was, he made history, back in 2009 and stuff like that with him and Drew, but I wouldn't have let him go, honestly. He's definitely going to be a Hall of Fame in questioning. In the way that he turned the Broncos season around, man, you got to think about it. Coming out rough and then getting 5 straight wins for them back to back is like he's showing you, this is what I do. So.
Well, and then maybe it was the Saints making the playoffs last year. Almost. I remember it was kind of towards the end when they had clinched the spot.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And that could maybe be attributed to the work that Sean Payton had did over there in New Orleans.
Yeah, man. That was that last piece of resource we had ever since Drew left, man. Like, he was the, you know what I mean? So, but like I said, I mean, if it works out for him there, then kudos to him. I definitely want to see. I think they had a recent loss, but, they can still clinch a spot, So.
Well, y'all let us know what you think about these quarterbacks. Yeah. If you think that a team needs a new or a new coach, let us know. And
definitely let us know how y'all feel about those coaches and kind of coming in and who y'all favorite team in the comment section, NFL teams. His is the Cowboys, mine's the Saints, and we're just trying to clinch a spot and keep going. So yeah. But yeah, you guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Like I said, we're going to keep bringing bangers back to y'all. Next year, we're going to have some special guests coming in a whole different lighting. But yeah, man, I'm Jamar McKeel.
I'm James Sherwood.
And y'all have been served with J&J Sports episode 37. See ya.